Hi, this is Pastor Doug. Last week we looked in the Gospel of Luke at how God prepares his people for his ongoing work. We began our study in Luke and highlighted the fact, do you know for sure? And Luke is writing to his friend Theophilus and really writing to others the certainty of what they've been taught. And it's a gospel to build faith. It's a gospel whether you're new to the faith or just checking it out, or whether you're convinced or committed, that wherever you are, God would build faith during this study. And I hope it's been helpful for you reading along as we prepare each week. Last week we looked at, speaking of preparation, God's preparing work through John, who we've often called the Baptist or the baptizer. John was one who was calling people out into the wilderness in the spirit of Elijah. And we mentioned that Elijah, a prophet from the past, had really called and confronted Israel to make a choice. Were they choosing God or Baal? And John is challenging the people of his day. Are you choosing God's agenda or are you choosing your own agenda? And in order to be ready for the coming one, the coming Messiah, Jesus, who would soon appear on the scene, John is inviting people, well, stronger language than that. He's challenging them to be baptized and repent for the forgiveness of sin, to turn from their ways, to acknowledge that they're not right with God. They're not right with their neighbor. There's things and there's work that need to be done. They need to be cleansed. They need to be washed. They need to be made new in order to fully receive and respond to the work of Jesus, the one who is to come. Some questions to consider as we look at our own lives and think of where do we need to repent? Where do we need forgiveness? Where do we need that weight of sin and that entanglement of sin and that cloud of sin that makes it difficult for us to really move forward in life and in a way that is pleasing to God and in a way where the power of God is present in our life? What's out of whack in our life? What's missing in our life? And who do I need to share that with, and who can help me be accountable to making some changes? God is the one who brings the conviction, and God is the one who will enable us to make those changes. But he calls us to make that turnabout face and say, no, I'm no longer going my way. I'm going to go God's way. This week, as we continue, we'll be studying Luke chapter 4 and chapter 5. And in those chapters, we'll see as Jesus appears and he starts to call people to follow his way. He's the one who's come to bring good news to the poor. But his followers will be one who not only receive that good news, but also begin passing that news on to others. I hope you have a great week. I hope you're able to keep up in the Gospel of Luke. Feel free to join us tonight at a Wednesday community group as we will discuss this past Sunday's sermon and the Luke chapters 1, 2, and 3. But I hope to see you on Sunday and as we worship God, whether it's on person or online. Have a great week.